First of all, I'm still here. Second of all, people forget I'm the principal and controlling shareholder of MicroStrategy. My idea, I wanted to do this. Phong is a really great operating executive, and he'll be even better as president and CEO. The company has added $5 billion in assets to the balance sheet, and we needed a new full-time CFO, and Andrew Kang has arrived to do that job. And the company's been executing on a Bitcoin strategy for the past 2 years, and it's worked really, really well, notwithstanding the volatility. Our stock's up 123% through August 1st, and if you compare our performance to Bitcoin, Bitcoin was up 94% in that time period, but the S&P is only up 23%, NASDAQ's up 13%, gold's down, bonds are down, silver is down. We nearly doubled the performance of Google. We outperformed Apple, which is only up 43%. Microsoft's up 34%. Amazon, Meta, and Netflix are down. So you never would have guessed that a mid-sized software company in the enterprise software space could outperform all of big tech and every asset class and even Bitcoin from a standing start. But it's worked extraordinarily well for us. Creating a hybrid company that's got a stable enterprise software business with stable revenues and good cash flows, and then adopting a treasury reserve strategy using Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. And so, yeah, I've said before, Bitcoin is hope, and Bitcoin is the strategy that we used in order to outperform during a very difficult financial period when most currencies are crashing and most assets are struggling. And I would recommend it to anyone that's looking at a good treasury strategy. Yeah, no, there's no relationship between the transition and that write-off. It's a non-cash write-off, and our investors look through that, as does the board of directors and the officers. Phong has been the president of the company for the past 2 years and the CEO heir apparent. He has been president and CFO until May of this year. But given the size of the balance sheet, the opportunities in front of us, the company really needed a world-class dedicated CFO. So when Andrew Kang joined us in May, we checked that box. That cleared the way for Phong to step up to the role of president and CEO. He's an extraordinarily talented executive, and this will make him even more effective. And this will allow me to take the role of executive chairman, where I can be a more enthusiastic advocate for Bitcoin, while Phong and Andrew manage the corporate operations and execute on the MicroStrategy ongoing business strategy. We are very enthusiastic about it. I'm not going away. I'm the chairman of the board. I remain the controlling shareholder of the company. And I'll be working on innovation and other corporate strategy activities with Phong. We're a very, very good team. But we're enthusiastic about the business intelligence business. And I think 100 years from now, people are going to want to buy business intelligence out of the cloud. That is not going away. The Bitcoin strategy has helped us weather the financial storm, of currency devaluations and the like. And it has raised the visibility of the company by orders of magnitude. And it's given us a lot of financial flexibility because of our strong balance sheet position. Well, I say volatility is vitality. And a lot of people ignored our stock 2 years ago because once every quarter we had some news, plus or minus a few percent. Now there's more news every 15 minutes. You can't really ignore us. And yes, one part of our strategy, the Bitcoin strategy, is a levered long Bitcoin strategy, and we don't make any apologies for it. But the other part of the company is a very stable, mature enterprise software business which generates consistent cash flows. So I think it's been a benefit to our shareholders. I mean, that's why we're 123% against the NASDAQ 13%. That's the volatility, is the price you pay for the performance. As for the future, a lot of people are afraid of volatility. Do think the volatility will come off gradually over the next 4 to 8 years as regulatory clarity arrives to the market and the market is educated. But we're not afraid of the volatility. We embrace the volatility, and I think that all of the winds are blowing in the right direction for us. Well, it turns out that every CFO, every CEO, all the C-suite, they're all aware of the crypto revolution. They're all thinking about how to get engaged. And so one thing that you do in an enterprise software business is you have to reach the C-suite. And our Bitcoin strategy has put us, right up alongside Microsoft and Oracle and SAP in terms of visibility to the C-suite. So it's a benefit in terms of marketing and sales. We're well endowed. We've got a huge balance sheet, and that's a benefit for corporate stability. It's been a delight for our employees. It's been good for our partners. It allows us to get our message out. So it is a net positive for the entire enterprise software business. This is the most exciting thing going on in the world. It's a global phenomenon. Everybody wants digital property like Bitcoin. Everybody wants digital currency like the US dollar. It's pretty obvious that the 24/7 friction-free mobile app is the future of finance. And that means everybody wants to get in on the action. So that means every regulator is going to be interested. I think that what's happened is we have catalyzed the interest of regulators in putting forth a set of rules and regulations. It's going to be good for the industry. It's above my pay grade to opine on which bill in the Senate will be successful and which regulatory agency will have which responsibilities. I don't know, but I do know that there are large mega investors that have been afraid to put huge amounts of capital into this asset class until they understand the rules of the road. So as the regulators sort out the rules of the road and provide that clarity, it's going to be great for Bitcoin. Our officers and our directors are unanimously committed to the Bitcoin strategy. I think people heard that on the conference call yesterday. Our new CFO is excited about it. Fong is excited about it. I speak for the entire board of directors. We didn't go down this path without thorough consideration. As you can see from the numbers, it's been a screaming home run for the shareholders. It's been great for our customers, our employees, our partners. We're full speed ahead. The matter of CEO succession has been carefully considered and planned for at the board level for many years. We believe in proactively developing our leadership team, and we realize the future of the firm is dependent upon our ability to cultivate successive generations of executives and promote from within. I had 7 years of closely working with Fong on a day-to-day basis. And the board had 7 years of experience with him because he was the CFO throughout that time, and he was closely involved with the board every single quarter. When Fong was promoted to president of the company 2 years ago, I think it was pretty clear to company watchers that he was my heir apparent. So in summary, this is a decision 7 years in the making. When we finally got to the point that seemed right, it was an easy one. We anticipated Bitcoin volatility, and we understood the accounting implications when we embarked on our Bitcoin strategy. I view both of these as competitive advantages for our firm. The volatility means that A, Bitcoin is more interesting than less volatile assets, and B, MicroStrategy is more interesting than companies holding less volatile assets. The phrase that comes to mind is volatility is vitality. We believe one of the reasons Bitcoin's the best performing asset class of the last decade is because the volatility attracts interest, capital, trading, it creates opportunities. It's very special. We don't have to try to convince companies to want to cover our stock and explain why we're unique. And there's someone that's thinking about it and obsessing about what to do on Monday morning, and maybe the opposite. And the fact that they're obsessing means they have to discover us and they notice us. And when they notice us, they start asking questions. What does MicroStrategy do? Oh, software? Tell me more about that. So every CFOs, CEOs, CXOs, the C-suite, they've heard of us. The media, they've heard of us. Traders have an economic incentive to invest in MicroStrategy. And I used to joke with people, if you like Bitcoin, then you'll like us. But if you hate Bitcoin, you'll still like us, because people that hate Bitcoin, they want to trade our stock, and people that like Bitcoin want to trade our stock, and everybody's got to have an opinion on it. So the volatility just attracts attention and attracts capital, and it makes the company much more interesting. As for, and the interest is important because the thing you don't want is to be irrelevant to the world. When nobody knows you and nobody cares whether you succeed or don't, and no one knows what you do, that's the kiss of death. And so our company has really emerged on this world scene, and it has helped us. It's helped us to sell, to market, to recruit, to retain employees, to find shareholders, etc. And well, I think the executive structure is going to be a benefit to all of us. First of all, we're actually expanding the management team with the addition of Andrew, and that gives us a full-time finance executive. And as you know, our balance sheet has grown with our debt offerings and our ability to issue equity. And the explosion of our enterprise value from 666 million to 5.5 billion means that the finance function has become a full-time job in its own. And so Andrew has arrived and brought some new skills with him, but also Andrew has made it possible for us to promote Fong to president and chief executive officer. First of all, I'm still here. Second of all, people forget I'm the principal and controlling shareholder of MicroStrategy. My idea, I wanted to do this. Fong is a really great operating executive, and he'll be even better as president and CEO. The company has added $5 billion in assets to the balance sheet, and we needed a new full-time CFO, and Andrew Kang has arrived to do that job. I get to step up to the executive chairman role, and I'm out there advocating for Bitcoin and the hundreds of millions of people that need it everywhere in the world. Right. And together the team is stronger. We're full speed ahead.